Okay, so one more thing that I want to cover before we jump into the main material are some defensive options, some like primary ways that you could defend or resist the technique. Because I sort of make a couple assumptions in the set. I start talking about dealing with some counters and defenses and escapes. So I want to make sure you just have in mind some of the main ways to defend and counter this position. This is a super difficult position to get out of because the lock is behind my head, right? So if Aiden locks me up here, everything I need to break apart is behind my head. So I don't have a lot of power this way. It's just a really tough position to get out of. So a lot of my defense is gonna involve like resisting and finding a little bit of position of comfort until his arms kind of get tired. But in general, most of the best defenses here are gonna involve putting myself north-south in relation. So if I can get my back to the mat and start to line up north-south, that's gonna be like, I'm not in a good spot. I'm in a pretty horrible spot, to be honest, but it's better than where I was. I'm defending the north-south choke now, and now I can try to continue to maybe get out of there. If his lock is on bottom or if he's on top of me, throwing yourself to bottom north-south is a pretty good option. And when we talk about the Sonic the Hedgehog roll later and some different things like that, those are some ways to counteract that particular defense. So again, if he has me locked up and he's on top of me, if I can frame on the hips and start to get my back to the mat in north-south, I can get out of there. I can potentially go belly down instead of belly up. This is gonna make it hard for him to dump me on my side and finish with his lock on bottom or him on top of me. Try to dump me over on my side. Yeah, it's tougher, but he can slide under me now. He can drop on his right hip and now he can go lock on top if I defend that way, belly down. And this is getting really tight. I can already, you can hear it in my voice. So if I'm in this configuration, same thing. I wanna move my hips away like I'm going north-south again. But now since he's more underneath me, instead of ending up on bottom north-south, I'm gonna end up more on like top north-south. So I'm trying to get my chest on his back and open up. See how now we're in more of a straight line? Now in order to deal with this, he's gonna have to pull me back down in the pocket, or he's gonna have to gator roll me all the way through and end up on top again. Exactly. So whichever one of those main two basic darces that you're in, think about getting north-south. And don't try to overthink it. If you're on bottom, just try to put yourself north-south, boom, and then worry about whatever's next. If you end up kind of on top and he slides under, same thing, try to line up north-south and just get your weight on top. Right, there's some more specifics that you could get into, but those are gonna be the two most basic pathways to get out. And again, in the instructional, there's a lot of stuff about what to do if people come to their knees. I'll show that in a second here. That's valid, but it can still run me into a lot of trouble. So if he locks up his darce and I just try to come up to my knees, he can still slide under me and run me down, or he can like pull me into guard. He can drop to the other hip. Yeah. Both of those are tighter than just being on top, sprawled on top of me. So I would avoid going to your knees to defend the position if at all possible. And hopefully the last chapter and this chapter help with just defining some basic terms. One thing you can do again, if he's down on his side, if you're down on your side, yeah, a couple basic things you can do just to get the feel for it. Just have your partner reach in again, reach across, and then see if you can use one arm to just touch their shoulder to the side of their neck and see if you can kind of keep it there, and then put the grip together and see if you can get a tap without squeezing. All right, thanks.